Welcome, everybody. It is Randy, your coach of the Texas Pokemon Rangers, in preparation for the GBA D-League Season 3 World Championship. And, guys, I am still ready for this battle. It's been a long season, great season. No matter what happens today, tomorrow, I guess. Tomorrow's when we're actually battling, but for tomorrow, you guys are actually going to see the battle. Although this video possibly can go up on Sunday, early Sunday, like I did last week for the battle, because I'm not sure what time Saturday we're actually going to battle yet. We have a set time, but in case it gets a little messed up, I'll just upload this Sunday. So yeah, no matter what happens in the battle, you know, it's been a great season. I do appreciate everybody's support. By the way, if you guys did not see our most recent video on the channel, it was uploaded Thursday. It's a teaser for a new league, so I noticed maybe a lot of people haven't seen it. So if you guys haven't seen it, I'll link it in the description below, or you can just check out the most recent upload. And if you guys don't want to miss any more of my new draft content for that league, make sure you do subscribe before the GBA season is over. That way you can keep up with the content. But yeah, I mean, thank you all for the support last week. It was unreal seeing everybody comment and congratulating me. It was unreal, man. I just want to take the time to thank everybody who gave my content a chance. You know, I know I might have been a little hesitant to try to watch my content. I understand maybe there's a small percentage of people that were denied from the GBA D-League and probably a little bit upset at the beginning of the season. But I do appreciate everybody for giving me a chance. So thank you for Tom for giving me this chance. Thank you to all the GBA people who were involved selecting, the analysts for their hard work, Choice CJ, Aaron, Zillix, Dallas Star U. I'm not sure what's been going on with him, but hopefully he's all right. And just everybody. Just thank you to everybody. And like I said, no matter what happens tomorrow, or I guess today, it's been a great season. And, you know, I had a lot of fun competing. And, yeah, man, hopefully make it a great championship game. You know, we're going up against 6-foot hacks, Leo. Coach of the Durham Druddigons, so it's going to be a tough matchup. We played in week 2. He did beat me 3-0. It was a narrow battle because it came down to a Stone Edge miss, really. But I mean, I played a little bad, so building the team for this game was extremely difficult. Like, there were so many different versions of teams that I had, and I tested. I had like way too many mocks this week, and honestly, it might come back to bite me. But overall, I feel like this team gives me a pretty damn good chance to win, as well as just allows me to have some fun, because, again, this is the last game of the season no matter what happens. So hopefully we can pick up a W, obviously. But I feel like it's well constructed. There are 2 months on a team that I'm not really too sure about. If I do end up going into the game with a different set, I'll let you guys know, even though I haven't really done that all season. I always say that, but I only say that in case I do end up making a last-minute change. But as of now, this is going to be the team. And without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the builder. Again, let's do it. So, we are going against the Durham Druddigons. Their team changed just a little bit since last time. They are rocking Aaron Black, which is, of course, one of his Z-move users. Tapu Koko, Shaman, Donphan, Bronzong, Reuniclus, Greninja, Torrent, Snorlax, which was traded with Greg, and then Mega Aerodactyl, Blaziken, and Raichu. So the differences from last time and this time is that he dropped Silvally and Salazzle. He traded one of them, but I mean, he lost both of them. So I don't know the actual terms, like what actually happened. But the bottom line is he doesn't have Silvally and Salazzle. Now he has Snorlax and Blaziken. So on paper, of course, it's very hard to like predict what he's gonna want to bring, because he has a whole bunch of mons that do things. But if he doesn't want to bring them, he doesn't have to. Like stuff like Reuniclus, Aaron Black, and Tapu Koko, those are all mons that are capable of doing stuff to my team. But at the same time, he can use stuff like, you know, Mega Aerodactyl, Blaziken, Raichu, Donphan, Shaman, stuff. Like, pretty much, like, I'm pretty sure he can, if he wanted to, bring any Mon on his team. The only Mon that I know 100% will not show up is the Shaman, because Muk forces it out, Hawlucha, and Scizor. So Shaman's probably the one Mon I don't expect. And same with Bronzong, I guess, but everything else, honestly, is up in the air. Like, he can bring it if he wants to. I would say Snorlax isn't a good Pokemon because of how much I brought Hawlucha, as well as even Meloetta Purette form, so I don't think that Mon will show up either. But as I said, with the right matchup and the right team build, they could probably all work. So I took that into consideration with the builds, and let's go ahead and jump into it. We have Shaka Zulu leading the way, of course, the MVP of the season no matter what. Running the pretty much almost the same set as last time, except I'm actually running a physical set, because the Wild Charge allows me to break through stuff like the Tapu Koko and the Bronzong and the Reuniclus if it's AV like last time, so that'll be really clutch to do more damage to AV Reuniclus if I have to. I have mixed. I have a hasty nature. That way, my dazzling gleam can still force out Kieran Black. Because if this were to come in on Kieran Black the very first time, if he brings it, it would force him out. Because I have a potential to be a Z-move user, so I doubt he would want Kieran Black to just die to a Twinkle Tackle, turn 2 or turn, just like for no reason. So, I feel like this is still a decent mon to switch into Kieran Black. If it's, I doubt it's gonna be Choice Scarf. There's no way it's gonna be Choice Scarf Kieran. That just doesn't make sense to me. So I mean, this mon is still good at forcing out Kieran, which is like one of the very few mons that does on the team. So that'll be good to have there. And of course, Light Screen and Reflect, same thing as last time, except the plan to be a little bit different. It's not so linear as last week. Like I said, the team was really hard to build this week because as much as I wanted to have like some sort of linear strategy, I couldn't make it happen. It's just a team that has to rely on me, hopefully playing it correctly, and it also depends on what he brings too and how he plays it. So it's gonna be a very difficult matchup for me to try to go up against, but it's not going to be easy for him either. He can't just predict any of my sets because I can literally bring anything. He knows how crazy I am with the strats, so I'm sure that'll probably stress him out a bit too. But in the end, I went with something that was probably a little bit more predictable, but hopefully it does help me win the game. So yeah, nothing else to say here about Koko. I have enough speed to outrun the Greninja, which is the fastest mon that I need to outspeed, and I have maximum attack investment just to hit as hard as I can with Wild Charge. So that's pretty much all there is to it. I know I could probably optimize the attack and special attack investment a little bit better. I probably can, and if I do tweak that, I will let you guys know. But I mean, nonetheless, it's just gonna be either late game cleaner for me, or hopefully forces out stuff like Shaman. I mean, not Shaman, Tapu Koko, excuse me, and hopefully that's what it does. And most of my mocks hasn't really done anything, so that's why I was kind of inclined to bring a Screens Koko again, and it helps out my my later mons on the team. So next up, we do have the Rock Paper Mega Scizor. Of course, it hasn't been a while since she's come by. And here we opted to run a Swords Dance 3 attack set as opposed to a bulky defogger like we brought last time. Swords Dance Scizor just sweeps his entire draft on its own. Blaziken obviously is a mon that resists my dual stab. And that's how it was with Salazzle last time, and he brought Salazzle because he understands Scizor is a big threat. So, although in my initial team builds, I was kind of like, iffy about Blaziken. I'm not sure if it's going to come. But I feel like it has to because he doesn't have anything on his team that could, reliably deal with Scizor in one hit. I mean, Donphan, physically defensive, like max Fizdef. I mean, in theory it does, but at some point in time, it's going to get worn down. Like, it's going to take a +2 bullet punch or a regular bullet punch or just a U-turn. So over time, it's going to get worn down, and I don't think it's really a reliable way to deal with Scizor. Blaziken is probably a bit more reliable because it can easily guarantee OHKO it no matter what. Whereas Donphan probably needs 2 Fire Fangs to knock me out. So I gotta play Scizor smarter. I have to, because last time I played way too passively with it. It got destroyed early game, and that pretty much opened the door for his Aerodactyl late game. So of course this is the other mon this is like one of the only few mons that forces out Aerodactyl on my squad. So I have to keep this thing preserved. Max attack bullet punch is pretty much a guaranteed OHKO on Aerodactyl if it's a no bulk. Pretty much, I think it's like a 75% chance. But if he does like run some mixed HP, like if you were to run the same spread as he did last time, I'm pretty sure it's like a close to 60% chance to knock him out. So yeah, I'm pretty sure he would run like the same spread. He might try to run like a bit of a bulkier spread to guarantee he lives a bullet punch from full, but that's kind of risky because if I get a Broxton, that's pretty much going to be a bit of a loss for him. So but nonetheless, I mean, yeah, U-turn and bullet punch are completely spammable against his team because this thing forces out Kieran Black. It forces out potentially a Shaman. Maybe. I don't even think it would force it out because if Shaman comes, it's going to have HP Fire. There's no doubt. It forces out Reuniclus for sure. Forces out Snorlax because I can set up on Snorlax or superpower it to get some damage. And it forces out Raichu, arguably. But I have to be careful because every single Pokemon on his team is very capable of carrying fire coverage, and they might because of how much Scizor does to him. So the only mon that I'm sure probably won't have fire coverage is the Reuniclus and the Aerodactyl. And Aerodactyl without Fire Fang makes complete sense because he needs Edgequake to hit my team, and he needs Crunch because Crunch hits Celebi and Jellicent, and I guess Meloetta too. So I don't think Fire Fang makes sense, and I think he knows that too. He said it last time. So I'm not gonna risk it like early game, but if I just like use my head, think about his team build, I can probably risk leaving in Scizor to go for a Swords Dance or something like that. But I mean, overall, Aerodactyl without Fire Fang just makes complete sense if he brings Stealth Rock. Now if he doesn't bring Stealth Rock, then he could probably just carry either Flying Stab or Fire Fang. So Fire Fang would only be good for a switch, because Fire Fang literally does nothing else. That's it. So yeah, the speed investment allows me to outrun max speed Donphan if it's adamant max speed. And the bulk, Aaron Bardyn made the spread, so I'm not sure exactly what the bulk is for. It probably should be carrying odd HP though, so let me go ahead and change that. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty good. Like, I have to save it. I can't play it dumb like last time. That's the key to using Scizor. It does a lot of work to his team, so I can't, let it be dumb. I can't play dumb with it. And the reason why I don't have Roost on here was because it's like virtually hard to Roost on any Pokemon on his team, because they most likely will be carrying some sort of fire coverage. So that's why I opted not to carry Roost over like Superpower. So yeah. So next up, we have the win con of this game. Now, I feel like this set... actually, I'll go over it last because it's kind of important. So next up, we have Meloetta, which is Two-Face, of course, making her appearance after a dominating 5-kill game last week. So we're running just pretty much a wall breaker set here. Enough speed to outrun the Finny spread he brought last time. I don't really see a reason for him to run max speed Finny, so that's good for me. But overall, looking at his team, he has no ghost type. He only has one true resist, and that's Bronzong. Aerodactyl isn't a legitimate resist, and Snorlax is capable of getting two-shotted after rocks if he runs max defense. I don't think he'll run max defense, because that doesn't make sense. Usually they run like near max def to run curse. But overall, it still does like 37% to like max def Snorlax. So that's really good for me. Obviously, I can't stand on Snorlax because then it'd just be able to curse up for free. But overall, like wearing down the Snorlax and like forcing him to like recycle early would be nice if he brings Snorlax. But I really don't expect Snorlax to come. But yeah, Snorlax is like one of the only other resists besides Bronzong. So if he doesn't bring either one of the two, then I click Hyper Voice for free at any point. So that's huge, because wall breaking stuff like Finny and Donphan is going to be crucial, and even Reuniclus is going to be crucial for my my win con to win late game, or even Scizor, or even like Muk or something. So it's imperative to have a decent wall breaker. I brought Scarf last time, so he might be thinking I could be doing it again, but then again, he did see how I used Meloetta last week and the week before, so he'll probably be a little bit cautious with when he sees Meloetta come in. So if I can just wall break, if I can get kills with Meloetta, then that'd be nice, because again, he has no switch into this thing whatsoever if he doesn't bring Bronzong. So and I do have Shadow Ball for that in case, and Thunderbolt's just like a filler move, because I really don't need Thunderbolt. It's only need Thunderbolt if I ever switch in on Aerodactyl for free. If I know I can take a hit, then I can just kill it. But I mean, I'm pretty sure 99% of the time I'm going to be clicking Hyper Voice, and maybe 1% of the time I'll click U-turn if I want to predict a play. So, but really there's nothing else to say here. It's just my wall breaker. It destroys his team. It has a pretty decent speed tier to take advantage of Fenny, Donphan, Reuniclus, Blaziken if he runs Adamant, which I'm sure he will. It'll take advantage of his Raichu if he doesn't run too much speed on it. So, again, it's a really good mon that I can use to take advantage of some of his middle walls, his walls that don't have like the most speed. So hopefully I can take advantage of that. But if he takes a more offensive approach and brings stuff like Greninja, Blaziken, Kyurem Black, then that could be a problem. But then again, I do have my answers to those things. So I feel like Meloetta will be good and probably will be picking up some kills this game, no matter what happens. So next up, we have Fiber, the Alolan Muk, which almost actually didn't come this week, believe it or not. No matter, like, if you're looking at the matchup, seeing how good it is, it actually almost didn't show up because I was actually really wanting to use Pony Rapidash, but I just couldn't make it happen. Rapidash actually has a pretty decent matchup, so if you see Rapidash on Sunday in the battle, don't be surprised, but it's probably going to be a Alolan Muk, because Alolan Muk is just necessary. It walls his Greninja, walls an offensive Raichu, it walls his Reuniclus, walls Shaman, walls Finny, so it walls Kyurem Black if he's special, but I'm sure if he were to bring Kyurem Black, he would have to be carrying like Z Free Shock to just nuke Muk, or even just carry Dragon Claw or something. I don't think he's gonna risk just carrying Earth Power for Muk. So that's something I will keep in mind, because Z Free Shock just gets a kill on my team no matter what. Almost Scizor's the only resist to that move, so obviously I gotta hopefully play around that. But here the spread's pretty good. It allows me to live I think up to 3 Life Orb Hydro Pumps from Greninja. I'm not sure if you would even bring Hydro Pump. I think Surf's just safer. But nonetheless, it's able to take those hits. Got some Fizz Def investment. I take an Earthquake from Aerodactyl from full pretty comfortably, and I can hit him back with a Rock Slide, or even go for just like a knockoff on a switch. Because I mean, knockoff's pretty free. Every time Muk comes in, knockoff is like the most safe move that I can go for. The only mon that really want to take knockoff is the Mega Aerodactyl or the Kieran Black, because those two mons may potentially have items that don't come off. So Mega Stone obviously won't come off, and then Azee Crystal would come off either. But if the Misty Terrain isn't up, there's always that 30% chance I will poison with Poison Touch, which could be huge. Donphan's obviously the other mon that switches into knockoff, but if I'm able to knock off, like find out if he was an Assault Vest or if he was a Muscle Band like last time, or any weird item, that'd be nice to know. That way I can do my calcs accordingly. But overall, Muk has such a good matchup, and it got worn down early last time. It lasted most of the game, but Aerodactyl is just such a threat. But like I said, it does wall a lot of his team, and it's really important to have that answer to Greninja, because Greninja body bags my team if I don't have Alolan Muk. So Alolan Muk, I'm gonna play it safe. Gotta keep it safe for a while, as long as I can, and hopefully he can do his job and wall his special threats and maybe trap things or poison Donphan or Aerodactyl and get some clutch status, like I said. So next up, we have the mon that is making his second appearance all season. Go Rangers, the Celebi. Showed up only against Aberforth. Why did I mix that up? Aberforth. But yeah, it's the only other time he showed up. He was Celebi in that game, and now he's Go Rangers. Running a mixed, like a defensive Celebi with Stealth Rock, Recovery, Giga Drain, U-Turn. This spread allows me to take 2 crunches from Mega Aerodactyl, so I can switch in one time and take another crunch if I have to. Of course, it allows me to take the Dark Pulse from Greninja. Helps me, I believe the special attack investment would come close to killing Greninja after a turn of Stealth Rock and a Life Orb, so that's pretty cool. I know Leo doesn't really, he likes Life Orb Greninja now, so I'm sure if he were to bring Greninja, he'd probably bring Life Orb, because he'd want it to be able to do as much damage as possible. I don't think he'd carry something like Mystic Water or even Expert Belt or something. He could, but I think Life Orb is probably his play of choice here. But overall, this is going to be my, believe it or not, this is going to be my defensive pivot around Mega Aerodactyl, because like I said, if Mega Aerodactyl only carries Crunch and not Flying Stab, then Celebi actually can wear it down a little bit with spamming Giga Drain and stuff. So that would be huge to put it in range of like Bullet Punch in case I'm not able to get up rocks, which I do plan to, because this mon will be my lead pretty much 100% of the time to get up rocks. If he has something like Kieran Black, that could be an issue, because I can't really switch into Kieran Black all that well, but that's why I have slow U-Turn. That way I could just slow U-Turn on stuff like Reuniclus might come in. I guess Tapu Fini could come in if he predicts rocks. Stuff like Tapu Fini, Greninja, Blaziken. So I do have slow U-Turn for that. Not that I would outspeed any of those things, but like I said, I wouldn't want anything else taking a hit. So Celebi can actually prove to be a decently good mon on this team, because if he doesn't like prep heavily for it, then it can probably last longer than he wants to. But then again, he was pretty cautious of it last time, and he probably will expect this thing to be my rocker, because I don't have Nidoking on the team. Although he would probably be more likely to see Nidoking as a rocker than this thing, because Nidoking has a decent matchup offensively. Or at least he thinks so. So yeah, nothing else to say here. Again, mixed defensive. And I just needed to get up rocks for me. Now I can wear down his team. And it actually beats down his 2 defog, or his 2 hazard removers, being the Donphan and Shaman. Not Shaman, Tapu Fini. The main defog, the main hazard control, Fini and Donphan. Aerodactyl is not going to be carrying defog. There's no way. So being able to force those 2 things out is nice. That way I can get up rocks on them easily. But yeah, the final mon on the team is the Wincon. You guys already know who it is. I brought him every week. It's Roberto the Hawlucha. And this is a risky set. I know, this is really risky. There's a very good chance this won't work, and it'll probably cost me the game. But honestly, if it works, if I can get it to work, it'll be good game, like no matter what. So, weakness policy, Hawlucha, with all this bulk. This spread pretty much allows me to live like most of the threatening, more of the common hits that he would go for Hawlucha on me. So, Tapu Fini, uninvested Moonblast, or like slightly invested Moonblast. It can take a Psychic from non-Life Orb Reuniclus. It can take an Ice Beam from Greninja. A 40% chance too if he's running Life Orb. And yeah, I mean, I feel like Reuniclus, and it takes Play Rough from Donphan as well. So Reuniclus is Psychic, Donphan's Play Rough, Fini's Moonblast, and a Life Orb Greninja Ice Beam with no screens. Keep that in mind, no screens up. And of course, with screens, I'm able to take Flying Stab from Arrow. I'm able to take Karam Stab, I'm pretty sure. I'm able to take Life Orb Reuniclus Psychic, fully invested. So the whole plan is, if I'm able to get up screens at some point, I would need to pivot into something that isn't Hawlucha, because I can't let Hawlucha take damage unless I know it's something I can switch into. But realistically, I probably can't even risk it with Hawlucha. So I'd have to either sack Koko, sack Celebi, sack, I don't know, Meloetta, something to get in Hawlucha. and I need to hope that he brings in something that just has coverage for me. I can't hope for him to bring something like a Trick Room user or Roar or something. I know I brought something crazy last week, so he might try to like have Roar or like Haze or something. But the thing is with Haze Finny, I can actually set up on Haze Finny 1v1 with this set. Although I am slower than like a really fast Finny, I am faster than the Finny he brought last time. But basically the scenario is if I'm able to come in for free and he comes in for, or if we're on the field together like for free, the whole thing is I can SD. If he hazes, that's fine. I'm gonna keep clicking SD until he attacks me, because if I were to SD, he hazes, I have no boost. But if I were to keep clicking SD, and eventually he'll go for Moonblast, I'll be at +4 attack, and I'm able to knock off Finny, and I'm able to sweep his team. So this spread actually doesn't have it's not a guaranteed kill on max defense, like max defense Donphan and max defense Finny, but there's no way he's going to be running max. He's going to be running some sort of mixed investment, so I don't have to worry about that. But yeah, I mean, with screens, I wouldn't be afraid to set up on stuff that have super effective moves, because I can always take those hits, get my health back with Drain Punch, and then of course low kick is there because Kyurem Black and Snorlax can live a +4 Drain Punch with Chople Berry, but with low kick, I'm pretty sure they cannot take it. I know Kyurem for sure won't take it, but depending on Snorlax's spread, he probably won't take it with low, because low kick will be base power 120 against those two, the heaviest mons, you know, for me to deal with. So like I said, this mon is extremely risky because, like I said, if he doesn't have any sort of super effective coverage late game, then Weakness Policy will never be able to proc, and then I'll pretty much lose the game. But I feel like he'll need to have that coverage available because he understands how much of a threat Hawlucha is offensively to any team. And he'll have his ways to deal with my setup sweepers, Scizor and Roberto. So I'm hoping he overdoes it on the coverage. I want Finny to come. I want Reuniclus to come. I want Donphan to pack Play Rough. Donphan needs to pack Play Rough because if he were to carry Earthquake, Fire Fang, the last two moves are usually going to be either Play Rough or maybe Stealth Rocks, Rapid Spin, Knockoff. You know, he's never going to click Knockoff against me because, I mean, that just doesn't make sense, because Acrobatic is still going to, you know, get the damage off, like the boosted damage. Although he would probably appreciate that, you know, the lack of the speed boost. I mean, he'll probably click Knockoff on me if he has Knockoff over Play Rough 100% of the time. But in the off chance he doesn't have Knockoff, Play Rough will be the, you know, play of choice. I doubt he'll carry Roar because Fire Fang deals with Scizor. And then, of course, Play Rough's able to deal with Hawlucha somewhat. He knows I'm not going to bring Electric Seed because he has Finny. So he could probably expect some like Power Herb or something. So that's why I do expect him to be carrying Play Rough and not Knockoff. So I can arguably set up on Donphan, and I'll probably have to because, like I said, if this thing's coming in, I'm going for game, and there's no doubt about it. So huge risk, and if it fails miserably, I'm willing to take that risk because it's the last game of the season, and I wanted to have fun with Weakness Policy Lucha. I can actually say 100% this was my idea, the Weakness Policy Lucha. But before we end the video, shout out to my front office guys, Lindomar, Aaron Bardyn, Youngster Bill. They helped me build this team that took forever to make. But a bigger shout out to Zazo, who helped me. He sent me the original team. The sets that we kept from him were the Meloetta, the Muk, and the Celebi was our interpretation of his set. He had a little bit of a different spread, but he pretty much gave us the full idea. We Celebi, Muk, Meloetta, the Scizor. But the Koko Hawlucha Koko, Lucha, and Scizor spreads were all ours, but he gave me the original idea on how to use the team. So big thank you to him. He helped me out, reached out to me and helped me out. So that's the team, guys. I don't know, man. It's risky, man. Like, I'm sure there's going to be some struggles in this game. This game will not be easy no matter what happens. So all I can hope is that I put up a good fight, and let's hope the Rangers can pick up their first title ever. So yeah, guys, I'll see you guys tomorrow or later on today in what is going to be the GBA D-League Season 3 World Championship. Go Rangers!